On April 9th, our services were requested with those of the Fairless Hills Fire Department. August 9th was a beautiful day, a little bit of golfing, and Mr. Hosbach, if you'd like to come up, will you be able to come up? Mr. Hosbach was golfing at the Oxford Valley Golf Course when he suddenly went into cardiac arrest. 92% of those who go into cardiac arrest out of the hospital do not survive. There's a great history in the book from RA Health. Fortunately, right people at the right place at the right time fell into place. In the industry, it's called the chain of survival, and this is required for anyone to survive an out-of-hospital cardiac arrest. And we had civilians who performed CPR, called 911. Paramedics quickly responded. The fire marshal's office happened to be right around the corner. Fire marshal happened to be right around the corner, responded as well. And the men from the Fairless Hills Fire Department responded. You can see the great, I mean, just simply look at this room, what it takes to impact and save one life. And Mr. Hosbach is one of the 8% in the country that is able to stand up today and tell you and testify about the successes of that. So without further ado, I'd like to show some accommodations to the civilians that helped that day. Mr. Peter Horsley. If you can stand right here, Mr. Horsley. I'm going to call 3 up. Mr. Ken Morgan. You need a hand?
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. And Mr. Joe Myers. Before I hand out these awards, I just want to kind of express the courage it takes. Honestly, the firefighters and the paramedics, we train every day on a regular basis how to respond to an emergency. When a civilian has the courage to step up and put themselves in a situation that they're not comfortable with, like these gentlemen here did, this is the outcome, is the survival of a gentleman who gets to see a wonderful 20, 30, 40 years of his life, play some more golf at least. So Mr. Morgan, right? Oh, wrong one. I knew I was going to get that wrong. And Mr. Myers. These two gentlemen were instrumental in activating 911 and in performing CPR. Something special for Mr. Horsley. Mr. Horsley is the first one to initiate CPR, and to his story, when I was getting his story, he told me he hadn't taken a CPR class in 10 years. The fact remains, CPR has changed here and there, but he understood just to start chest compression, start. So the American Heart Association actually is identifying him as a Heart Saver hero and is presenting him with an award. I'm presenting on their behalf from the American Heart Association, a national award given to civilians to have the courage to step up and start CPR.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Horsley is also receiving the Civilian Hero Award. At Levittown, we're identifying the civilians that, again, show the courage that we'd expect from one of our own in uniform. Mr. Horsley was able to do it and then finish another 9 holes of golf, so that's pretty impressive.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And before I bring up before the firefighters and the paramedics come up, the chain of survival not ends, but it is really kind of facilitated a little bit further by the emergency department physician. I can't say enough how much we appreciate Aria Bucks and the emergency, chaired by Dr. Harry Emmerich here. Dr. Emmerich's taken an ownership in educating and training paramedics, ongoing, continuing education, and helping with our successes in the field. He happened to be the physician on call that day, and Dr. Emmerich, you're receiving the Healthcare Hero Award for
Great,
today.
thank you so much.
Thanks, fellas.
Thanks,
Chief Christopher Reif's company, the Fairless Hills Fire Company, they're second to none when it comes to responding to medical emergencies by our side. And the men came and assisted. If the paramedics from the day could come up, paramedics Steve Hare, Ben Calhoun, Brian Huber. And today, Hank Degner, the 4th paramedic on the call, he's very ill, actually placed on hospice recently. His wife and his daughters are here to accept on his behalf. So I'm going to call up the Degner family, please. I'm going to call out your boys. You want them up? Yep.
Okay. If I could also have the County Chief Ken Dalbert, firefighter Jim McCole, firefighter Chris Velasco, Eric Lawrence, Scott Rhodes, as well as past Chief and Fire Marshal Rich DiPolito, Fire Police Officers Jack Murphy and Steve Dahl. Please come forward.
I'm really speaking to the civilians or to the citizens of Falls Township. This is what it takes to save a life. The civilians, the firefighters, the paramedics, the physicians, the nurses. It's a team approach, and it starts with early CPR and calling 911 quickly. It's so important to do that to get the help there. And this is the team that helped Mr. Hosbach return to recovery. So we're going to present them with the life-saving pin. This is now a merit award for all firefighters, paramedics, EMTs in the township, identifying that they've actually saved a life that's become, that's returned to a quality of life.